Alright, today we are watching a program called Inside Information, and this is another program from the Jam Handy organization. I gotta learn more about them because that's too curious of a name for me to know nothing about them. But as it stands now, I know nothing about the Jam Handy organization. But this was published all the way back in 1941, so this might be one of the oldest videos I've watched on this channel so far. I really have no idea what this is going to be about. Inside Information. I think we're going inside of a machine or something, but I really have no idea. I don't want to make any promises, so let's just start watching, right? All right, here we go. Yep, there you go. Inside Information. There's the title. I guess we're not figuring out what that relates to until we dive right in, but that's what we're here for, so let's keep going. I love like the just wall of sound that you get hit by immediately upon starting watching this. Like just, a full orchestra just blasting in your face instantly. Like, I like it. I know I make fun of it, but I do appreciate it. It's just like, it's a definite like editing technique to get the audience's attention. Like, blam, Dude, I have noticed this about Jam Handy though. Jam Handy is like a lot more energetic compared to Encyclopedia Britannica. Those are like the two big media producers that I watch a lot on this channel. And like, I really like Encyclopedia Britannica, but Jam Handy always has like big productions about them. It's a little bit different always. Yeah, like here we go. We have actors and a whole scene already. Like Encyclopedia Britannica doesn't really do the dramatization, They do a lot of like rote, dry scientific explanation, but Jam Handy does more of these like personal sort of stories. What are we putting this kid inside of? Like a box? What is this? We're gonna send him out into space or something in this thing. Oh, is it like an X-ray? Oh man, this is so bizarre. Is this what X-rays looked like or look like? I don't even know what X-ray machines look like, to be honest. But like, I did not think the doctor would just take a panel and just like put it over this kid. Like, it seems like he is actively injured. Like, it doesn't seem like it's time for an X-ray. It seems like it's time to like operate. Yeah, it totally is an X-ray, isn't it? Inside Information X-ray. Okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense. Okay, thank God, this totally is a blue video. Like, sometimes I really don't know, especially with the Jam Handy ones. But like, okay, if we're talking about X-rays, this is a blue.
If it isn't a piece of candy stuck in Junior's throat.
Bro, I can barely see that. Can you guys see it? Maybe it's just because I have lights in my eye, but I guess I can see a dark circle. Are those his ribs? I can barely see what we're looking at here.
If it isn't a piece of candy stuck in Junior's throat.
That's what the kid was crying about. First off, I don't think he'd be able to speak if he had this big of a piece of candy stuck in his throat. And also, is that what we use X-ray machines for, is to find candy stuck in children's throat? Like, I'm pretty sure you use X-rays to inspect people's bones to see if they're broken and stuff. Like, not to find candy stuck in kids' throats. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have figured that out another way.
X-ray gives the doctor the inside information.
X-ray. Okay, yes, we are talking about X-rays, though. This is interesting, though, because this is from, 1941? So this is a pre-war X-ray program right here. That's crazy. I didn't even know that we had X-rays prior to World War II. So I guess I already learned something, right?
And now he can assure Mother that the candy will soon dissolve and Junior will be as good as ever.
Oh, so they didn't need this X-ray at all then, right? If the candy's just gonna dissolve anyway, then like they didn't even need to see that it was there. Like, this is kind of a waste of a use of an X-ray, but whatever. Was this a thing? Like, did kids like get candy caught in their throat a lot? Like this is just such an unimaginable example for me. And that music, it's just, again, a sonic wall of music. Like, you have no choice but to feel, like, upbeat watching this because of just, like, how in the face the music is. Like, the music is the thing that's telling the story right now for us. Like, we are feeling everyone's emotions sort of through their performance, but more through the music than anything. Oh man, is this a silent film? Oh, I didn't realize, but this is from the 40s. So this could be like a silent film that they have music over. But I feel like I've already heard people speaking. I don't know. I guess maybe all the lines were recorded afterwards, but like this was still like sort of a silent. This is the bridge between silent films and talkies, I guess.
So this is what Mrs. Brown saw. Inside information on Junior's pockets. Yes, X-ray is a wonderful invention.
That's funny. So hang on. So this is supposed to be a shot from inside of his pockets. Why does it look like his rib cage? Why does it look like these things are inside of his like chest cavity? Oh, is it like shirt pockets maybe? That would make more sense. It's just like, otherwise I don't know how he got a pair of keys inside of his lungs.
On Junior's pockets. Yes, X-ray is a wonderful invention. The X-ray is produced in a special kind of vacuum tube.
Oh, cool. So, all right. So we did learn about vacuum tubes. I think we even did learn about X-rays in that, right? In the ray cathode tubes or whatever. Like, I think this is building on that, which is good that we watched that first. But this is cool because in that first one, we saw like an X-ray tube that was like this big. It was a very basic explanation of an X-ray tube, but this is ginormous. This is like a real industrial X-ray machine right here. So this is cool. Again, the fact that this is from 1941 and this is a functioning X-ray machine that was being used by doctors. I don't know. I'm finding that impressive. I guess I just didn't realize that X-rays were around for that long, but maybe if I didn't realize, then maybe some of you didn't realize either.
Special kind of vacuum tube. It is a form of vibration.
Dude, this actually looks exactly like the vacuum tube we learned about just a week or two ago. Like, oh man. So yes, we're building on pre-established knowledge now. I like that. I like that a lot. So I pretty much already know how these work, but let's listen to their explanation.
Sound is vibration too.
So we're kind of getting down to like the very physics of like vibrations now. I guess that we're getting a bit more of an in-depth explanation, which is good. I appreciate it. Though I don't get why we had to watch this person play the harp for like 10 straight seconds. Like, I don't know if that's really getting the point across, but you know what? That's the old-timey editing style for you. It's good harp playing. I'm not going to hate on the harp or anything. It's just, it seems a little unrelated to the task at hand. Like, I just want to remind you all that we're supposed to be learning how X-rays work right now. I guess we are. We could be learning that right now as I speak. I don't feel like I am.
When a sound wave vibrates too fast, we have trouble in distinguishing it.
Dude, this harp player, I'm kind of curious about her life now.
Or when it vibrates too slowly, like the deepest bass notes, it approaches the limit of our hearing and sounds like a rumble.
Are they trying to make the connection between X-rays and like waves of sound that we can't hear? Like X-rays are rays of light, so to speak, but we can't see them. It's the same way like deep sounds are still sounds even though we can't hear them. I wonder if that's the angle that they're hitting this at. I honestly am kind of lost as to why we're talking about a harp all of a sudden. Again, like I would have been fine with like one plucking of the lowest string on this harp, but I guess we needed to hear it like several times in a row. Whatever, good old-fashioned editing for you.
Did you ever see one of these high-pitched dog whistles? Well, did you ever hear one?
Again, this is very indicative of the Jam Handy organization, where they have all these like kind of random examples that sort of go towards the point that they're talking about. I'm already realizing I do prefer Encyclopedia Britannica over Jam Handy in terms of these old-timey productions, but this is still interesting. It's just, this is a much more winding road to get to the point than I feel like Encyclopedia Britannica's programs were.
There was a sound. The dog heard it.
See, I do feel like I did pick up on what they're trying to explain to us, is that there are sounds that you can't hear, but other things can. So there are lights that other things can see that we can't see, and that is what an X-ray is.
Although the sound wave was vibrating too fast for human hearing. Certain types of waves are visible to our eyes, and so we call
Yeah, here we go. Light waves. All right, now. I get where we're going.
And so we call them light. But the X-ray vibrates 8,000 times as fast as ordinary light, far beyond our range of vision. We can't see it at all. However, we can take a picture of the image cast by the X-ray on a specially prepared film or plate. Or we can see the image through a fluorescent screen.
You know, that is kind of crazy that, like, it is just a light that we're, like, blasting through our bodies so powerfully that we can see through it. You know, like, there is an amount of visible light that we could shine at our bodies to make ourselves translucent, you know, but, like, we don't do that. But we do that only with X-rays instead of visible light. I think the amount of light it would need to illuminate your ribs like that would probably melt your skin off first. So I guess I understand. It's an interesting concept. I've never really thought about X-rays as just a light picture, but I guess that's what it is.
One of its applications is by police departments to find out what's inside the suspicious-looking packages.
See, that's interesting because I really don't think of X-ray in those terms at all, as seeing into packages. I guess that's what they use in airports and stuff too, but like I don't really internalize it like that. So that's interesting how that's kind of like the first example they give here. And I bet police officers still use this for this purpose as well. It must have been so amazing. Like again, like I know I say this a lot, but like back then, they didn't know that you could just see through stuff with X-rays, you know? Like it must have been amazing to just be able to see through a box with light. Like I can't imagine just like the sheer amazement people must have had during this era of technological advancement. You know, like we were just gaining powers that to people previously would have been magic. You know, seeing the objects inside of a box with a camera is just like unthinkable to the people 20 years prior to the making of this. So like it really is special and amazing that we have X-rays and that they had X-rays. Like I'm trying to put myself in the mental shoes of a person who is seeing an X-ray for the first time, you know?
This innocent alarm clock might have been a bomb. X-ray inspection makes sure of safety here.
Dang, I also love how this policeman, like, for his role, is smoking a cigar. Like, he is an actor on a set playing a policeman or something, and for the character that he is playing, he's smoking a cigar. Like, not even a cigarette, like a big, fat, like, old American cigar. Like, there's just something funny about that. Like, this is very noir.
Safety here, just as it does in the field of medicine. And today, in the great plants where military planes and passenger liners are built, safety in their construction is assured by the use of X-ray.
Oh, we also learned about that a little from how electronics work as well, is how they use X-ray lights to quality test an assembly line.
Giant automatic X-ray cameras take photographs of all the vital parts. In these machines,
Hang on, what parts are these? Can anyone identify this? Because they look weird. They're circles, but they're flat on the bottom. I don't know. I'm curious about these parts now.
The parts move in under the X-ray tube, where a 1-ton lead hood comes down to cover them during exposure. Timing and intensity of the X-ray exposure are automatically controlled. In the finished films, the grain of the materials is examined to determine the strength of the part and to find the slightest defect.
Wow, that is interesting. I wonder if they did that with like every part. They must have only done this for like one for every like 2,000 in a batch or something. I can't imagine them taking a X-ray for every single part that hit the assembly line. But it is interesting that like factories were using X-rays for quality testing all the way back in 1941. You know, like that seems like something that would take a very long time to develop. But actually, that was like one of the main applications of X-rays. It's just like you never really think about that sort of stuff.
These precautions are taken in order that America may build a great and powerful air fleet.
That's interesting, too, that America may build a great and powerful air fleet. Like, first off, the first air fleet really ever in existence. And second off, we should still be aware that this is 1941. So this is before America entered World War II. We were building, like, warehouses full of planes. Maybe we were selling these to the Allies or whatever, but, like, I have to imagine we were building these for ourselves. I feel like we knew we were going to get into World War II eventually, just we didn't know quite how. Or at least that's what I think of seeing this. I don't know any reason why we would be building all of these planes before getting into World War II if we didn't expect ourselves to need to use them eventually.
And equally important, for the safety of the men who fly, X-ray has given us increased safety in the air. But more of us are concerned with safety on the streets and highways. The modern automobile has many safety features, one of the most important being good brakes. Here too,
one of the most important being good brakes. You know, I would argue that good brakes are probably like the primary safety feature of a good car. Like, I don't care if it has good seatbelts, but no brakes, you know?
X-ray can give us interesting inside information. An X-ray photograph shows that this brake shoe has worn evenly along the full length of the lining. Here's an X-ray of a shoe from another type of brake. This one has worn thinner at one end than at the other.
It's interesting. You know, I really thought that X-rays were going to be talking about like medical applications only, but it really is interesting how many like industrial applications there are for X-rays. Like that is truly something I have never thought about before. So this is interesting.
Let's look at the brake from which it came. In this brake, the shoes are anchored on a fixed pivot.
You know, I do appreciate that I'm learning how a brake works also. Like, that's not the main purpose of this program, but that's definitely part of the blue of this program. And I never really understood how brakes worked until now either. So you latch it and then that's interesting. And that's the brake pad, so they want to know if it erodes. All right, so it all makes sense. That's interesting. I appreciate, that's why I like these sorts of videos, is because we get an inside glimpse into something I didn't even know I didn't know about, you know?
But the heat of brake application expands the metal of the shoes. This expansion causes varying pressures of the shoes against the drum, resulting in uneven wear of lining. In the first brake, where the wear was uniform, there is a movable linkage which allows the shoe to press evenly against the drum.
It's funny though, because we are actually going into like the mechanical reasons behind why this brake failed or whatever. You know, like this is no longer an application of X-rays. This is just how brakes work and why, you know, like we're kind of getting distracted here. Like I understand this example showing how we use X-rays to figure out things in cars or whatever, but like now we're not talking about X-rays anymore. Now we're just talking about brakes. So it's just, I feel like we kind of got distracted here.
As the brake heats, the movable links compensate for expansion, smoothly maintaining an even pressure at all times along the full length of the lining. And so, today's most modern automobile is built with brakes that give us more miles of effective service, assuring the driver of greater safety and economy. Safe, smooth stops, and many more of them, are the result of engineering research.
You know, I honestly never would have guessed that X-rays led us to have like better brakes. Like I would never have been able to come up with that chain of connections in my mind.
When they designed this mechanism, the engineers hit upon a simple device. They copied nature. The ankle acts as a pivot to distribute the pressure of our weight evenly between the toe and the heel. For inside information on ankle action, Let's
Inside information on ankle action. That's a good tongue twister right there. Inside information on ankle action. Believe it or not, I do not care for insider information on ankle action. I'm not an ankle kind of guy.
let's call upon one of the newest and most startling developments of science. X-ray motion pictures.
X-ray motion pictures. So is that like a movie shot in X-ray? That's crazy. I'm so curious what this is. Like an X-ray picture is like something that you get in a hospital, but an X-ray motion picture, like that's interesting. Like I'm curious, like a movie of your internal organs or something. I want to know what that is.
For the first time on a theater screen, we are about to see action pictures photographed with special equipment that utilizes the wonderful X-rays.
That's interesting. So yeah, they're actually going to show us like action shot with X-rays. That's that's interesting. I really hope they show us what we're actually talking about.
Inside information on ankle action.
Oh, got it. So we're trying to figure out how the ankle works from the inside. That's actually really interesting. Cool. Wow. Yeah. I'm happy. I did not see it going like this. I'm always pleasantly surprised when I learn stuff like this.
X-ray motion pictures show that as we step down on the ball of the foot, the ankle acts as a movable pivot, allowing us to lower the heel and even out the pressure.
I'm not quite sure like the X-ray is revealing anything new in this shot. I don't know if this is just a normal shot or an X-ray shot, but like I don't think this is actually any more information than what we already had.
X-ray motion pictures of such simple action represent an important forward step to science.
Wait, hang on. Was that the X-ray motion picture? Like, I really expected to see, like, all the different bones in her ankle moving. Like, why can't you see anything? Like, this is just a regular video. Like, right? Like, it's just black and white. Like, it's not like you're seeing her bones. Like, I really thought the purpose of this would be that we saw how the mechanisms inside her body actually move her ankle. I guess we're just seeing a black and white foot moving around. Again, not an ankle man.
X-ray motion pictures of such simple action represent an important forward step to science and engineering. These remarkable pictures allow us to see
like we're seeing through her shoe. So this is an X-ray shot, but we're not seeing through her skin into her ankle. So I don't get it.
the same action in nature that has been engineered into the modern automobile brake.
Like, am I missing something? Do you guys know something that I don't? Like, we're seeing through her shoe, but we're not seeing through her ankle. So what's even the point of doing this in X-ray? I don't know.
A movable link that distributes pressure evenly. And so it's the linkage in the ankle that gives us smooth, even pressure.
That's a bit of a stretch. That is why we use our foot to hit the brakes. I just don't know about that.
Whether it's driving the modern motor car or dancing the graceful measures of a lilting ballet.
Yeah, again, this was supposed to be about X-rays. I don't know why I just watched a ballerina for 20 straight seconds. Actually, I do know why I just watched this ballerina for 20 straight seconds. Alright, that's the end. That was Inside Information by Jam Handy. Is Jam Handy a person or is it an organization? What is Jam Handy? I don't get it. I don't get a lot about what I just watched, I guess. Alright, yeah, so that was an interesting watch. I will be honest, I don't know if I saw as much X-ray action as I would have liked. I honestly, now that I know that this is about X-rays, I really wanted to see a whole bunch more. But I guess that's all we're getting to see. I'm still caught up on that last example, the ankle. We didn't see inside the ankle. I thought that was the point, So yeah, I'm a little lost. These Jam Handy productions are always, again, a little bit goofier than the Encyclopedia Britannica ones, but I do feel like we learned something. I feel like this wasn't as rich with information as some of the other programs we watched. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to see the inside of that woman's ankle. I thought that was the whole point, What is interesting about this is that I really did go into this thinking that I would only be learning like medical applications of the X-ray. But what I really learned is all the other applications of the X-ray. Like I learned about, police using it to see inside of packages or whatnot. Like if there's anything I actually learned, it's how else we use X-rays besides the obvious, especially from a perspective like this, which is interesting. I kind of just wish we had more, honestly. Like I would be fine if we got to see more inside information. I don't think we actually did see a lot of inside information. Like I just feel like so much time of this program was spent on like random other things, like the ballerina dancing or like the car brakes, Like I understand how that relates to X-rays, but then they went and wasted time on explaining how the brake works, Like I feel like there wasn't the same level of focus in these that I'm used to in the Encyclopedia Britannica programs. But you know what? This was still enjoyable. It was still a surprise. I still feel like I did learn some new ways that X-rays are used. So overall, a good watch. I'm glad I watched it, and I'm glad I put this in the blue because this is definitely deserving of a blue. But other than that, if you enjoyed watching and would like to help support what I do here on this channel, you can follow the link in the description that'll take you over to the Internet Archive. The Internet Archive is where I get all these old programs from. So if you want to support what I do here, donate to them. And with that, I think we are ready to cut to black.